The Akashic Records and the Halls of Amenti are both places of immense wisdom and knowledge that once a soul is ready to enter either the Akashic Records or the Halls of Amenti can gain immense wisdom, knowledge about themselves, about collective, and so much more. And if you have ever felt drawn to either the Akashic Records or the Halls of Amenti, then this video is for you, because I was guided to share with you some insights into what you most need to know about both the Akashic Records and the Halls of Amenti, and how working with either can truly change your life for the better. So let's get started with the Akashic Records. The Akashic Records, the way I like to just explain it is, think of it as your soul's library of all lifetimes, where you can get insights about yourself as a soul, about your past, your present, and your future. You can uncover about past lives that you have lived that may be affecting you today. You can uncover what type of lives you lived, like what kind of person you were in those lifetimes. You can uncover about certain things that happened in that past lifetime that then affect you still today, whether it's about poverty, about wealth and abundance, happiness, love, health, whatever. You can find out about that within the Akashic Records. Now, you can also find out within the Akashic Records about your life purpose, of what your soul has come here to do, as well as what is really holding you back from really stepping into that. You can find out about how to open yourself up to a loving partner. There is so much that can be found within the Akashic Records. Now, but the difference here is the Akashic Records is individual to each individual person. Each individual soul has an Akashic Record, but also each individual living being and even buildings and business, they all have an Akashic Record, where everything is being recorded from that soul through all lifetimes. So that's why I like to explain the Akashic Records as simple as, think of it as your soul's library of all lifetimes. When you enter the Akashic Records, if you are more on the visual side, you may see a large library with tons of books in there, or you may not. I mean, it really depends on the person. Once they enter the Akashic Records, what they see. I, for myself, and even when I do readings for my clients, I often see a library, and the library always looks differently. So it's truly beautiful. But when you work with the Akashic Records, you can find out just about anything about yourself. And I'm saying about yourself because you could not ask about another person per se. You could ask about another person as it relates to you. For example, if you are in a relationship and you want to learn more about this relationship that you have with this other person, you can find out about what you as a soul are meant to learn from this relationship, how you can make this relationship better, what lesson you are meant to learn from this, or even if there are any soul contracts or karmic attachments to this person, all as it relates to you. So you could not ask about, your spouse's life purpose or anything like that, because that would be stored in their own individual Akashic Records. So when you work with the Akashic Records, or when you enter the Akashic Records, or even get a reading, it's all about you, your soul, your life path, your past, your present, and your future. I really like working with the Akashic Records because it truly gives you insights into so many areas. If you have any questions about who you are at soul level, about your path, about even your soul name, your soul's origin, those type of things, all that can be found within the Akashic Records because it has been recorded within the records. When you enter the Akashic Records, or when you work with the Akashic Records, or even if you get a reading, the reader receives insights from the Akashic Record keepers as it pertains to you. Now, another beautiful thing that you can do within the Akashic Records is actually uncover certain blocks. Let's say you want to really step into your purpose in this lifetime, but no matter what you're doing, it feels like you're not really moving forward, or, it feels like something is holding back. That usually has something to do with any past lives where you may have had a bad experience. Maybe you had made certain vows to never go about your life, living in purpose, or certain other things that happened. Maybe you had a really bad experience in the past life, or it could also be beliefs and habits and interference and then certain blocks that you have picked up over lifetimes or even just this one lifetime that is actually hindering you from really stepping into that. Or let's say you want to you're really looking for your soulmate or have a loving partner in your life, but no matter what you do, you keep meeting these not so right people and it just never really works out. You also can find out within the Akashic Records, well, why is that? What is causing you to keep attracting these same type of people? Oftentimes it's about life lessons. It's about soul contracts that you have made, because when it comes to soul contracts, karmic lessons, that's because in a previous lifetime you have not learned a certain lesson. So that's basically karmic lessons. Or then you make certain agreements with certain souls that when you enter a lifetime, that they will come into your life at a specific time to help you learn something. And you also can find out about things like that within the Akashic Records. So basically, think of it like that. Whatever question you have about yourself, past, present, future, the answers can be found within the Akashic Records. But then also you can actually heal within the Akashic Records too. So if you find out about certain past lives, certain blocks, certain interferences that are actually hindering you right now from living your best life yet, you can actually work with the Akashic Record keepers to heal and release. You can ask, how can I best heal this? What can I do now to release this? And then even if you work with someone, let's say you work with a reader, they may then even be able to assist you in the healing as well. For myself, I use light language to help my clients really heal and clear any blocks that we uncovered within the Akashic Records. And of course, whatever else comes up. But when you heal within the Akashic Records, think of it like that. You're doing time travel pretty much, because you're then connecting with that event when it happened. And even if you're getting a reading, like I do written readings, and we're connecting with that event and clearing that energy around that has such a beautiful ripple effect that then affects your entire timeline. It adjusts your timeline, because then as we're clearing the negative energy when it happened, well, then you no longer have this energy follow you along throughout your timeline. So that's why your timeline adjusts. And it has such a beautiful ripple effect that it changes your life. And of course, every person's life that was surrounded by you, that was in your life during that time. So it's a beautiful way to do some deep, deep healing once you uncover within the Akashic Records of what is truly holding you back, and then go to the source of it, clearing that negative energy, working with your Akashic Record keepers to rewrite the story, basically. You're rewriting the event on an energetic level. So you're removing the negative energy around the event, and that in itself rewrites your timeline, rewrites the story. So working with the Akashic Records, whether it's you yourself entering your Akashic Records or getting a reading, can be such a life transformative event that can really change your life in ways you never thought possible. And you may wonder, well, can anyone enter the Akashic Records and work with the Akashic Records? And I would say yes. However, it really depends on how ready that person is from an ego standpoint of receiving the guidance, of really working with the Akashic Records. Someone that is not open to that, of course, they will have a very hard time getting into the records and, of course, receiving guidance, because when it comes to working with the Akashic Records, you have to open yourself up to receiving the guidance. And in the beginning, the ego is usually in the way of really receiving that guidance. But anyone and everyone that feels called to work with the Akashic Records definitely has the ability to do so. And if you would like to learn how to work with your own Akashic Records, I have a 6-day free program where I teach you how to start working with your own Akashic Records. Link is in the description below if you want to check it out. It's over 6 days. I will teach you step by step how to start working with the Akashic Records. There are also light language activations included to help you open yourself up to it, overcome your ego, and those type of things to really assist you in start working with the Akashic Records. It's a powerful mini program that can help you start working with the Akashic Records. And if you may not want to do that, but you really would like to learn a little bit more about yourself, your life, or have questions, then I offer different Akashic Record readings. The link is in the description below. You can check them out and see which reading really speaks to you, whether it's about finding a loving partner, finding out about your life purpose, who you are at soul level, about financial abundance. I have different readings, and just allow your soul to guide you, which is the best for you. So that was it about the Akashic Records. Now let's talk about the Halls of Amenti. Now, when I first heard about or became aware of the Halls of Amenti, I was really amazed by it. It's only been about a year since now I'm doing this video that I was introduced to the Halls of Amenti. In the beginning, I thought it was similar to the Akashic Records, but it actually is not. It's actually on a higher level. The Halls of Amenti are overseen, guarded, and actually have been created by Thoth, the Atlantean, who also created the Emerald Tablet. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail about Thoth and who he is and whatnot, but basically, the Halls of Amenti is a place where the ascended masters share their wisdom, their knowledge. They teach students who are ready to enter the Halls of Amenti the higher wisdom and higher knowledge, the universal wisdom, if you may, the ancient wisdom, if you may say. Now, this is more so a place that not everyone can enter whenever someone wants to. It's more so when the student is ready, they will be invited, whether it's an ascended master comes to them and invites them, or there is an invitation that needs to happen in order to be invited to enter the Halls of Amenti. Now, the Akashic Records is different because that's on a soul level. Like every soul has access to their own Akashic Records. The Halls of Amenti is more so universal consciousness kind of level, right? It's like the higher wisdom. It's where a student can truly learn from the masters. And there is a readiness that needs to happen first. So anyone that is just starting out with their spiritual awakening, they're most likely are not ready to enter the Halls of Amenti. They may still need some time to awaken, to open up their senses, to raise their level of consciousness in order to be ready to work with the masters. And the Halls of Amenti are also in a much higher frequency than the Akashic Records. So think of it like that. You have the Akashic Records here and the Halls of Amenti are up here. So it's a higher level of knowledge, of wisdom, because like I said, the Akashic Records is on a soul level. The Halls of Amenti is more on a conscious, universal consciousness level. This is more so, the Halls of Amenti is more so a place of mastery, and only those students who are truly ready, who are truly meant to work with the masters, will then receive the invitation. They will then be initiated, so to speak, to enter the Halls of Amenti. I have entered the Halls of Amenti a couple of times already, and it is beautiful. I have connected with the masters. Actually, Thoth has come to me numerous times and has worked with me on sharing wisdom, sharing knowledge, and those type of things. And it's truly a beautiful thing when you are at that level of readiness to receive this invitation. So it's truly beautiful when you receive that invitation. When you're ready, then you know that you're going to be taught by the masters. But if you desire to receive that access to that higher wisdom, that higher knowledge, I do recommend start with the Akashic Records, because that then also will lead to channeling as well. And when it comes to that, it's really about that openness to receive insights, to receive the guidance, to be open to receive that the messages from the divine. In the beginning, when I started with the Akashic Records, my ego was always in the way. I had to take some time before each reading to really prepare myself, to put my ego on the back burner, on timeout, to really be open to receiving the guidance for myself initially, and then of course once I start working for clients. So the ego is usually the one thing that gets in the way of really working effectively with the Akashic Records, and then growing ready to then be initiated or invited into the Halls of Amenti. But if you really feel that inner desire to work with that higher wisdom, the higher knowledge, I do recommend start with the Akashic Records, or start with some sort of channeling work, whether it's doing automatic writing, maybe taking a course on channeling, whatever you feel guided to do. But if you're feeling drawn to the Akashic Records, I truly believe there's a reason for it. Whether it is for you to actually then start working with the Akashic Records yourself. And then here, like I said, check out my 6-day mini program to learn how to do that. Or if you're saying like, I really don't want to work with Akashic Records myself, but I do want to receive guidance, then here you may then decide, okay, who do you want to work with? Find yourself a reader, whether it's myself or someone else that can give you an Akashic Record reading if that's what you feel called to do. Now, working with Akashic Records is truly a beautiful thing that can open so many doors for you, whether it's you may want to start a spiritual business later down the road or maybe not. Either way, working with Akashic Records can truly open so many doors. And I have a video for you where I share 8 ways that working with Akashic Records can actually change your life. It's in the description below if you would like to find out a little bit more about how it can truly affect your life. But here's the difference between the Akashic Records and the Halls of Amenti. I really hope you enjoyed this so far. If you did, and if you've gotten benefits out of this video, I want to invite you, hit the like button and maybe leave me a comment below. Let me know, what is your experience with the Akashic Records or maybe even the Halls of Amenti? Have you worked with either or maybe even both? And what was your experience? I would love to know. I get the sense that more souls are really meant to work with either the Akashic Records or then be prepared to work with the Halls of Amenti, because as we're really tapping into that higher wisdom, the higher knowledge, well, then it can come through us. We can become more of a divine messenger, take the role of a divine messenger, because I truly believe that the masters, the guides, are just waiting for more souls to awaken and to grow ready to become the messengers, to share the message of the divine, because the world needs that. There's so many souls that need the guidance, that are seeking that higher knowledge. And if you feel guided to, for one, watch this video, I truly believe there's a reason for that. So maybe start working with either the Akashic Records or do some of a channel work, or just open yourself up to be shown what way are you meant to work with the higher wisdom, the higher knowledge, the guides that may just are waiting for you to open yourself up to take on the role of a divine messenger and share the messages that are just waiting to be expressed through you. So thanks so much for being here. Now be sure to check out this video here about the 8 ways of how the Akashic Records can change your life. I think you're going to love it. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, make an amazingly abundant, successful day. Namaste.